say, where are we now? Where do we want to be? How do we plan to get there? And when do we plan to arrive? And then I do a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis, as you know, is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We then unpack everything that the company is dealing with until we've got a very clear picture. Everybody involved has a very clear picture of where the station is, where it wants to be, how it plans to get there, when it plans to arrive. We then start setting goals. And they were so impressed that they asked me to go back again, which I did. And by this stage, they'd already made progress. They had moved from not knowing what they were doing to having a very clear objective in their minds. So Deutsche Welle then said, we want you to go to Sierra Leone. Now, Sierra Leone was wilder than Liberia. Liberia, I didn't ever feel threatened. I didn't ever feel that I was in danger. But Sierra Leone the war had ended about 10 years previously. I don't know if you know much about Sierra Leone. They had child soldiers who were chopping off people's limbs. And it was a very, very, what is the word I'm looking for? Troubled place. People had not recovered from the war. And so Liberia was more difficult. They wanted to know why they were bringing in someone from outside to tell them what to do. I would have meetings set up and people would not arrive. And so it was a very difficult, they were traumatized. That's the word I'm trying to use. They were suspicious of anyone coming from the outside to tell them what to do. But I have my way of working, and I applied that.
I was about to ask, how did you handle the difficult situation, especially the delicate part of you set up a meeting, the people that are traumatized by a war and basically not trusting of anybody that's from the outside are not even pitching for those meetings. The navigation around that?
I just had to put them at ease that I wasn't there to tell them what to do. I wasn't there to change anything that was working for them. I was there to learn in the first place and to see if I could add value from what I learned about what they were already doing. I went back twice to Sierra Leone, but I must say I didn't enjoy it. After that, I went to, where did they send me? To Kenya. They sent me to Ghana. They sent me to Zambia. I went to Zambia several times.
But apart from the fact that they are sending you to all these places, right? What in you actually wanted to do that? Because I don't think anybody who's in their 60s, who's built an incredible career for themselves, would want to do something like that unless they really want to do it. Plus, you're even going to areas that were high risk.
High risk.
Why was that so important?
I'll tell you what it was. It was an adventure. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I knew if I applied what I had learned in building other radio stations in very sophisticated, by comparison, the South African market was very sophisticated. But I thought if I can teach them one or two things, I will have achieved something. And I made friends. To this day, I'm still contacted by people from Liberia, people from Sierra Leone with questions. This is the situation. What do you suggest we do? So I will almost say, a reluctant mentor. I went there to mentor them without knowing what I was up against. I did know it was going to be difficult. What I didn't enjoy was the travel, and I didn't enjoy the accommodation, but I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed the adulation. They were so keen to learn. When it would come time for a break, I'd say, all right, let's take a break. I said, no, let's continue. Let's keep going. That made me feel really good that I was adding value to the point where they didn't want to stop. They just wanted to learn more. They were like sponges. They wanted to learn more and more and more. And you know, witness, what they say is when you teach somebody something, you learn it twice. And that's how I felt, that I was learning what I'd already taught other people. I was learning it again, and I enjoyed it. I could improve. My means of teaching, of explaining, of mentoring had improved. I was adding value, and that's always a good feeling. When you feel you're adding something and they're learning something, and as a result, they are achieving something.
So quite interesting, but it also makes me wonder when I'm listening to what you're saying. It sounds like a lot of the challenges you took up were challenges that seemed bigger than you. That's why it became a challenge.
Yes.
So what is it that made you want to take up a challenge that's bigger than you?
Because what I'd been doing...
You had nothing to prove.
I did have something to prove.
What did you have to prove?
I had to prove to myself that what I knew and what I had done before was valid and could be done, could be replicated in markets where there was
no sophistication
at all.
Okay. So you felt what you did in SA,
yes,
it was done, but it was done in a market that's sophisticated.
And then I thought, I wonder if I can make this work in a market where they have no clue. There was nobody had been there before me to teach them anything.
Right.
So it was a challenge. And if you know me, you'll know that I rise to a challenge. Adversity for me is a spur. I went to Kenya. I worked in the Rift Valley. I went to Ghana. All of these places had never